sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur. Femur.
We make money now?
No, we had to pay
So
them.
this episode, it's just too slippery. I'm slicing everything.
Every time I swing my 5-iron, it goes up that guy's ass.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's your host, Jim and Foo.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast, episode 70.
70.
And I am sick
As a dog.
as maybe 3 dogs. That's how I
you
feel.
have the sickness of a dog with the sickness of 4 dogs.
I have like stacked up sickness, so sometimes, I understand that it's not that fun to listen to people who don't feel all that well, so, it is what it is, I guess. But the show must go on.
Yeah.
And I left work early, but guess what? I'm here doing a podcast. I have taken drugs.
Oh, golly. Golly, I love you so much.
I left work early because it was a downhill slide at the office.
Yeah.
And got home, got me some meds of some kind.
How long have you been? Was it just today? Or
it started yesterday, but yesterday was tolerable kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then this morning I got up and I'm like, I'm probably all right. I feel about as good as I did yesterday.
Right.
And then I got to work, and then for about the next 3 hours just felt the downhill slide.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, I need to go home. And then my manager comes by, and we're talking, and he's like, whoa. And he's like, well,
oh, yeah.
Cube kind
You
of
got
thing.
the
I'm
plague,
like,
dog.
I'm like, bro, I think I'm going to go home. And he's like, yep. So I
Check
went
out.
home. Yeah. Got me some drugs, fell asleep on the couch for like an hour and a half or so before coming here.
Now you're good to go. Is it all over achy, or is it
No, it's mostly
the
a head thing.
leaking from all orifice?
It's a congestion, little bit of a cough and some sneezing and some watery eyes. So hopefully all that shit shows up in the video. You know what I mean?
I'll look for like a sneeze grab for the thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like so out of it, like with just when I feel like crap, it's like I really feel like crap. It's like I don't just get kind of crappy. I get crappy. I get way crappy. And so that's where I'm at. And then I'm like forgetting my hydro flask when I get here. And I didn't bring any Kleenex. And
You're like all the little checklist stuff. You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, all the little things. Like, I almost forgot my computer with the hard drive that I would take the show home on.
Oh.
I almost just walked out the fucking door empty-handed. I'm like, I feel naked to go to the show.
Gotta go talk to Foo. Don't need...
Right.
Shit.
Minimally, I need the laptop. I need that so I can update it.
Right.
And then also, oh shit, I need the hard drive, which is sitting on top of the desk. So let me grab that. So, it's just, I feel
It's
absent-minded.
Little things.
Yeah, very absent-minded.
It also doesn't help that we're off sequence one day.
Are we?
Because it was a 3-day weekend. So Monday was out.
Yeah.
That didn't really get me, but it's gotten like some of my external activities, like the running and like work stuff. I'm like, wait, shit. Okay, these meetings. No, those meetings are tomorrow, not today. Shit. But like tonight, I knew tonight was oddly enough.
Well, I knew about today, but like Tuesday was weird because it was like, that's usually our big team meeting. It's like, we have a meeting today. It feels like Monday.
Like right out of the bat.
Yeah. And this is all following a long weekend driving to Orange County, which is, 7-ish hours down and 7-ish hours back. So at least 14 to 15
you're like
hours.
A pro at that drive now.
I could probably do it in my sleep.
Probably.
If it wasn't for all those Bay Area people on 5 making it a fucking mess. They just drive like assholes. And then I love that split off when, I don't even remember what highway it is, when 5, you have to like actually get into the to the right lanes to stay on 5.
Yeah.
When that breaks off and you see all the cars funneling off to the Bay Area, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Good riddance. Thank goodness.
Tell San Jose I said fuck off.
For real, dude. They just drive like fucking assholes. It's like, do you people never drive on a highway? Because you don't act like you do. But the drive down was piece of cake. Coming home was a little bit rough, but we made good time.
Was it good weather down there?
Yeah, we were at the beach, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I mean, it was overcast, but it was still like in the upper 60s.
It's been overcast here and cold, but it hasn't. I mean, it's sprinkled on occasion, but it hasn't. We haven't gotten the rain that the cloud cover indicates we should have.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
And it was kind of that way all weekend, so it was kind of like, ugh.
Well, what's unusual to me is normally when you go to the beach, we tend to hang around the Orange County area, Newport, Huntington kind of areas, and we were at Balboa Newport Beach, and you could see Catalina sitting out there. Just normally you can't see it. It's all covered with just like ocean moisture or whatever. Yeah. It was just it was like you were in, how when you're in Maui and you can see all the islands around? Yeah. It was just like that, except it was Catalina, which you don't normally ever get. Wow. That. It was weird.
Excellent visibility.
Yeah. But overcast. Yeah, so you had overcast, but this like insane amount of like view from the beach, which you don't normally get when you're down there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even as a kid, I remember like, oh wow, you can see the island over there. Like that's unusual. That didn't happen very often.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. I was gonna say, what do you mean there's an island there? I don't see one.
What did we? Oh, when we went down for the hot chocolate run, you could see Alcatraz, and Xander's like, hey, that's Alcatraz. And we went, yeah. And he went, oh, wait, is it? Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
You know what's cool about San Francisco is like you see all the landmarks. You're in San. It's not like they're hidden or whatever.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Alcatraz, the Golden Gate, the Bay Bridge. Treasure Island. You can see all that stuff. Yeah. It's all there.
It's like, oh, that's that
hanging out in the wind
one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Transamerica building, right?
Yeah. So we were a funny story about that when we went there. I forgot to tell it. So when we were parking, couldn't find any parking spots. We ended up at like the top of some parking garage.
Yeah.
And it was an audible that we had to call because the hotel's parking, the Hilton parking garage was full.
Oh, nice.
So we had dropped Venus off at the parking hotel. And so it's like, I'm not
the parking hotel
or the parking and hotel, but at the hotel to do the business.
Sure.
And it was like initial plan was like, I'm just going to do loop till she comes back to tell me whether or not there's some sort of other alternate hotel thing to park.
Now let me ask you this, because we're going to get into this and it's going to bug me, and I have to ask right now while we're talking about it.
Okay.
I assume they're charging you for parking.
If you're a hotel guest, it's comped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you were not, then you're eating a ton of shit. But if you stay...
Well, because I was going to be like, okay, if they're charging you for parking and you're not able to park, you shouldn't be paying for parking. And then especially if you got to park and pay somewhere else.
Yeah, if we had... Well, I don't know if it's free, but we didn't park and it wasn't part of our hotel bill.
Okay.
So we didn't...
Well, because what we've run into a lot is, and then we try and avoid these hotels because I think it's stupid, it's a hotel that has parking around it, right?
Right.
And it's like, a Hilton or some shit like that. Yeah. And then they charge you $25 a day to park your car outside, and it's just like, that is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We that kind of shit just... I mean, I can understand if they had a parking garage that they built.
Right.
And that kind of crap. But, when the parking existed when you built the building, and now you're going to charge me $25 a day to park.
Yeah.
So we always look for places that include parking because that's dumb.
I'd have to get to be 100%. I don't know if it's a heavy discount for parking in there, but we're not getting billed presuming that we are parking and that we didn't. So I ended up just looping the building and then seeing another parking garage that was open. And it was like a block and a half down the O'Bannon or something.
I'm just curious.
So parked there. But I'm very in particular about, like, I'm not the kind of person that's going to flip on their blinker to like shoehorn into like the closest spot in order to wait for the closest. I'll be like, I'll go to the top. I don't really care.
Just keep driving.
And find a spot with the least amount of hassle and park my car and be fine. So we do that. We're all the way up at the top. So I've got Xander and Piper in the car. And we're at the upper level, so it's open air. We're at the top of the building. and I'm kind of coordinating with Venus. I'm like, we've parked. We're blocked down. We're going to start walking back to you. I'm getting stuff situated in the car. Like, how am I going to get we're going to schlep everything from here to the hotel. We're not going to have Venus come back down. So I'm like coordinating everything. And I've got the parking pass, but apparently I stuffed it in the console of the car in trying to get phone and cables out. So I misplace it because it kind of shuffles itself into like a nook and cranny in Venus's like copious center console thing. So I can't find it. I'm like, fuck, where did I put it? Piper, help me fucking find this goddamn parking coupon.
Right.
And from the back seat, Xander is getting out of the car and he's stretching his legs, and I hear, Daddy, what's that really big building with the purple tip? and
the penis building, son.
And it totally registers, but yet I'm still focused on solving where the parking ticket has gone. That I'm actively like, and it's cogging. It's and I kind of just let it sit. It just kind of dies there for about 15 to 20 seconds. Piper is helping me look for it in the front seat, and she's silent. And we find the parking ticket, and I pull it out of the console, and I go, Xander, that's probably the penis building. And Piper instantly busts out laughing. She was waiting. She was like, it's a low-hanging fruit. I can only imagine, like...
Why hasn't he said something?
Why isn't Daddy going to say something? Why isn't Daddy going to say something? And just deadpan, that's probably the penis building, Xander. And he... What?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But it was funny because Piper was waiting. She knew too, and she wasn't gonna. Obviously, she's not gonna go. It's the dick building, Xander.
Yeah, of course.
God damn, it's a dick, bro.
But if she had, you would have been like,
oh yeah,
oh shit,
nailed it, girl.
Yeah.
What's up? But it was funny to have that like moment because in this family, the dick joke was left hanging, so to speak. And it did not go unattended. We got it covered. It was hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
It turns out it was the Salesforce building. So #HighDragon.
Okay. The purple tip building.
Yeah, it was like looks like kind of cucumber-ish with the and they do a lot of lights up at the top. And in this instance, it's kind of a whitish building. So it was literally, it looked like a
it would have been better if they
uncut dick.
If they made it beige, you know what I mean? With like red stripes in it, zigzagging
just
around.
Veined it out. San Francisco's Ding Dong building.
Well, it'd have been perfect for San Francisco.
Dad, is that a dick building? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Yeah. They got the gay pride flag hanging on the balls at the bottom.
It's Transamerica. It's One Market and the Cock Building. Good to go. Welcome to San Francisco.
Sometimes it gets bigger.
Yeah. You don't wait until it gets real big during New Year's. You got to go down to the bottom floor and cup the balls.
Nice. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. So did you have a good weekend?
We did a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that weekend to roll up, and I think it's next weekend.
For you?
Yeah.
Like just now you're getting your rest in?
Well,
I didn't have work, and we played video games. Most of Venus and I did a lot of Destiny. I checked this one off as like, nope, I'm cashing this one in as a do nothing.
So did it rain over the weekend?
On and off.
Okay.
But not, it wasn't like, I can't go out and do yard work because it's raining.
It's like, I'm not gonna go out and do
yeah.
yard work.
Honestly, that's what it was. I'm like, God, I worked last weekend and I worked this weekend, so I'm like, fuck it. It's 3 days. I don't know how I managed to swing this one.
Yeah.
But I'm cashing it. I'm
Right.
doing it. It was nice. So I did. It was a whole lot of sweat wearings, and sweatshirts, and just chill. Couple movies, but it was just chill.
I mean, I'm hoping that this weekend is my chill weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've had Melanie home for like a month and a half or whatever it was that she was home.
Yeah.
And finally got her back to school last weekend, and that was a drive down and a drive back. And then I'm like, well, now, it's just back to Shan and I and Chandler.
The humdrums.
And, and like, the holidays are here and gone.
Yeah.
Melanie's back at school, and It's supposed to rain this weekend.
Is it?
Yeah, from what I saw yesterday. I haven't looked today.
Oh.
But I'm like, well, that's a great weekend to do some nothing.
Yeah.
And I need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you're coming down with something. You just need to...
I don't think I'm coming down with something.
Well, I mean, you hope you're on the... Wednesday?
I would hope I'm on the upswing by now.
By Friday.
Maybe by tonight I'll be on the upswing.
You'll peak and then be looking at brighter skies.
Yeah, or I have whatever that new Chinese virus is.
The
coronavirus, yeah. Probably have that.
I saw a bunch of that stuff, but I didn't look up to see what it was specifically.
I don't know what it is specifically.
But I know it's killing people.
Yeah, they're saying that, there's a lot of speculation that the Chinese government is holding back on information about how many people have it and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of people that don't trust the government there, which is shocker.
Shocker. Really? No shit.
Right, yeah. And so people were... Actually, I heard, I think it was on NPR, that some people were complaining... Chinese people were complaining that the government... They had family members that contracted this virus and that weren't part of stats. And so they were online, like, talking about it. And the Chinese government went and picked them up. Yeah. Yeah, the Gestapo came and picked them up.
Yeah.
And
you make talk on news?
Yeah.
No more.
But they're saying it's gotten to 475 people this morning.
Yes. So I think that number stands out. So it was multiple hundreds, somewhere at least at the 400 mark for me, is what I read last.
The first case was in the U.S., was in Washington somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had jumped the pond yet.
It has landed here somehow. I think the guy that contracted was like a 30-year-old guy that was doing some kind of work in China and came home and had it. Yeah. So I probably got it from him somehow. You know what I mean?
Fucking great. Thanks for...
I'm going to infect
If we don't make
everybody.
it to episode 71, you know what happened.
Yeah, if 71 doesn't ever happen, it's the coronavirus for sure.
Hopefully they'll rename it just for us.
They'll call it the Jim and Foo virus or the Sad Dad's virus.
Sad Dad's virus. Kill the podcast.
I don't think I want to know. I don't think I want to be the reason. I don't want to be the name of the virus. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could be famous, but just not in the way you want. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, here's the trade-off. Yeah. You're going to be famous, but you're going to be named after a virus.
You killed off 2% of the population. Way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to be a part of that.
That's not my bag.
No. But, I'm hoping that this weekend's a nice, mellow weekend. I mean, I got all the stuff I want to do. But a lot of it I can't do, like painting and stuff outside. I can't paint and stuff when it's wet. So that's going to have to wait until springtime.
Who knows when that happens anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, there's an almanac that should probably tell us, but relative to what's going on lately, who knows how much longer or shorter these fucking seasons are.
True. Well, I mean, we still get cold, in the winter. I'm
cold.
not saying that it's not.
But we need water.
Yeah, we're getting that.
Are we?
Well, I mean,
I wonder what snowpack is. I'll have to check in with snowpack.
Oh, it's probably not as good as we hope.
That's not... I'm not sure. I think it's not far.
89%?
It's 90. I want to say 90 to date. So we're not far off. I think because my dad mentioned it when he was down here last.
Okay.
Because that's usually something he just has off the top of his head, which is, something Nevada Countyans do apparently.
Is they just worry about the snowpack?
Yeah, it's a snowpack. So go in, get your hair cut, talk about the snowpack.
Even though he's fairly well below the snow line.
Yeah, go to SPD, pick up some lettuce, talk about the snowpack.
How's the snowpack this year? I don't know. You hear about the snowpack?
I'm driving up to North San Juan, and we're going to talk to some locals about the snowpack.
I know Larry, the bagger Larry knows something about the snowpack. Let me go ask him. Yeah. I feel like it's like Minnesota's kind of thing now. It's like to talk about the snowpack.
Hey, it's just a thing.
Like Chandler's got this friend, Sam, hashtag hi Sam, because I think she listens to the show.
Nice.
She lives in Ottawa. Cold as shit.
Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's cold as shit there. So we're always giving her a hard time about how cold it is there. And like, hey, move.
I got a soft spot for Canada. I love watching the Homestead YouTube, like, video things.
What's that? What do you mean?
Like the people that go out and like live off the grid or do projects off the grid up in Canada.
There's a lot of that going. There's TV shows and stuff on that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I love watching those. I don't love Canada's mosquitoes though, but I do love watching the projects. I got Venus watching this one, my Self-Reliance, the Canadian guy. Very interesting story. He at the beginning of 2009, 2010.
Hey, that was 10 years ago now.
He said he lost his business and was...
He never found it?
Yeah. It's just, one day got into his truck and he's like, where's my business?
It's probably underneath,
it could be
between the seats
in the seat cushions or something, like somewhere stuffed in a belt buckle. Or,
that's crazy. A whole business.
And hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole because the way he had structured his business, it tied to his personal finances. Oh. So was
not an LLC or some shit like that.
No. So he was bankrupt. He said he was bankrupt at the beginning of the decade, and whatever he had, it was like a change of career kind of thing. He's like, I got no money.
He's like,
I'm in debt. I'm bankrupt. So he. Wherever he got money to start the project he bought like I think it's 60 some acres in Canada. I don't know.
How do you have money to buy 60 acres?
I don't know. I maybe he got
like $3 an acre or something.
He cashed in a 401k or something. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe the land is cheap. I don't know. Anyway, so he bought land and then just started built a cabin and homesteaded it and like filmed the whole thing in YouTube way.
Yeah.
Made episodes daily, whatnot, uploaded them, and that's his source of income now. That's his job. And he had no intention, he said, of living there, but the YouTube, the content creation of him doing off-grid projects and living there is the new family's way of making money. And so they sold their house. His wife, just this year, is coming up to stay at the cabin now. And so the whole show, the series, is him doing projects to the cabin and the acreage. I love just... People still do these things. People still live with, like, minimal things. And, I like watching that. It's very calming.
I don't, there's... a couple shows that I've seen where they are building a house and all the struggles there's this one piece of property these people were building that was beautiful. It was like right off of a river.
Yeah.
So they had to like load everything on a boat and take like an hour and a half or 3 hour boat ride up the river to their place and then unload it all. And then, it's always a rush or it's always the hurry is to get in before the snow starts to fall.
Yeah.
And they're always worried about that. And then somebody gets hurt or somebody that's going to be coming to help.
It's Oregon Trail.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And there's always some thing that happens and they have to like be stressed about, oh no, here comes the wet. And
is it a TV show or a YouTube series?
Yeah, it was a TV show I saw.
Oh.
But that's kind of interesting. Then there's always the shows that do the, like, we're going to build a house off the grid that's made out of shipping containers or something.
I think I've seen one of those.
Yeah. And it's, like, crazy what they make out of shipping containers.
Yeah.
So, but.
I've seen one of those families and it was so cringy I couldn't do it. It was on, Venus was watching it, or it was, like, in the background. And it was, like, some dude. It was like, you guys, they knew nothing about
what they were doing,
but it was like, we won't live off the grid because and we got these shipping containers, and if we can't get this shit in, and they're using forklifts for shit that you shouldn't be using.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what? I don't know much about conduit, but we're going to run this wire through here and fucking shit, short it out.
Yeah, think about that. Your home is a giant metal box.
Yeah.
And if you chafe any of the electrical wire on that,
what the fuck is going on?
I mean, in theory, Romex would be okay. But I don't think you're supposed to run Romex through metal.
No. And I'm hashtag hi, Mike. But I'm sure he's probably like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I know that you're not supposed to run Romex through like metal conduit.
You know, but to film like two complete like neophytes trying to, I'm like, yeah, there's entertainment value here. But, that, it's like The Bachelor for homesteading. I'm like, no, I'm out. I don't need fake drama watching two foam helmets try and put shipping containers together.
And then some of the like choices that they make just because they're available or whatever, instead of like spending some money on some stuff,
right.
They're like, we picked up this piece of shit oven, and and you're like, what the fuck?
Why?
You're gonna put that around your kids?
Yeah.
I mean, the outside of that thing, it's like one of those old. I mean, there's something to be said for that, but an old cast iron oven,
you're like,
is like, I don't think you wanna...
take some of that TLC money and buy a real fucking stove, okay?
Exactly.
God.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like no.
It's not. That's not. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm all for saving money. Yeah, I got
absolutely.
It. And some antiques are worth their...
reuse the wood.
Yeah.
If you got wood that's been
yeah.
Or we're gonna cover this room of the house with pallet wood. I'm like, fucking, who knows what's been all over that fucking pallet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what kind of
coronavirus?
Yes, I mean, it's been. Oh no, I don't think I want to have my walls covered in wood that came off of a pallet.
No, that's. I'm circling.
That's kind of cringy. Yeah. I mean, as a design choice, I understand reusing wood. There's a lot of times when you would do that.
I would make a table or an end table off of repurposed something from like a shed or a barn or something like that. But I wouldn't.
Well, what was I just watched?
Like, where did this come from? I don't know.
Yeah, I just came across it's the show on, I don't even know what channel it is, but it's like where they make tree houses. He's treehouse master or something like that.
Yeah.
And they made this tree house, and then excuse me.
There you go. Now we've evened out the scale.
They're building this tree house, and then they had all this like reused like oak or something that was gorgeous, And and it's all tongue and groove, and they put that down on the floor and then built the house up, or the tree house up around it, which was kind of cool. And that's the kind of stuff I like. I mean, pallet wood or whatever. It's like, that doesn't go in your house.
No. And some of these guys that are building like a hunting shed or a hunting cabin thing, like something you're putting like a cot in. Like, it's interesting to see what you can come up with pallets. Yeah. But like to make something like, well, we're moving into this place, and it's going to be our official first home kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking, but my boxes of cereal came in on that.
Well,
maybe it was Raid,
or maybe it was fertilizer.
Yeah. Fucking Bandinis.
Well, I read this interesting article a few weeks ago, and it was about
why does the house always smell like shit?
It was about this dude wrote it from his perspective of, he was working in high tech, and he'd moved to the Bay Area.
Okay.
But he couldn't afford to live in the Bay Area. Like, he was working.
Not shocking.
Right.
Okay.
So he ended up, after some amount of time, like living in different places, he literally rented this. It's like slightly bigger than an outhouse kind of a thing, like in someone's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
That was big enough barely for a twin bed to fit in.
Yeah.
And it was like, he had to like sit. Everything was surrounded by the bed. The bed was the focus of
core.
Yeah. So like when he wanted to like stretch out, he was on the bed. Everything was on the bed. But it was so weird. But he's renting this little piece of crap shack that like he had to finish building.
Like a tough shed size?
It was, it was like, something like that. But it wasn't very big at all. And he was running like extension cords from the main house out to it so it could have power.
Yeah.
And like it was leaking, so he had to like fix it.
This was a TV show?
No, this is just an article I read.
Oh, an article.
Yeah, I think I found it on Dig. And it's like the things that people will do that they're forced into.
I had seen...
You know what I mean?
I can't remember if it was... It might have been something that Angie had sent us, because it was... when we went overseas, a couple of the quickie places that we had stayed like overnight, particularly like the not hotels, the airports. You were staying in this very small, cubicle type of thing. It was like not even cabin. It was very small. Like there's a bed. The bed is the core. Yeah. There's on the wall, and there's a very like stand up. The bathroom is like a closet kind of thing, very minimalist. Yeah. Some in the Bay Area was essentially like taking that and running with that, but for like residential. It was like the floors of the complex are bunks, not apartments. It's just floors of bunks. Yeah. To shove in a whole bunch of people, and they were paying. I mean, it was gross. Yeah. It was absolutely disgusting, the amount that they were still paying, and essentially you had like a communal space and a bunk, an open bunk. There was no, with like you draw a curtain, and that was your privacy space. Yeah. Hell, if you were in a relationship with someone and you wanted to bring them home for a date, it would be like a fucking dorm. Well, less than a dorm.
At what point would the date be like, this is nice.
We could go to my place. I have, a real door.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to, I don't think you'd.
Or we could go to the Y.
I mean, I don't think you'd be like, let's go back to my place.
You want to go back and stay the night at my bunk?
People can watch us.
I don't have a mortgage.
Yeah. I don't have a TV or a place to hang around, but we can lay in my bed with
Hopefully someone else has Elf on. If not, we'll have to watch another episode of The Bachelor.
I mean, I just think you get into that situation when there's just too many people. You have too many people on the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. What was the thing that I saw recently? It was a documentary about did we talk about this? The Shipbreakers? Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
So there's a whole thing like in India. There's this big beach that for years just sat there, but someone started a business where they literally take these huge ships, like shipping ships and oil ships and all different kinds of ships that are end of life. Okay. And they just and they beach them on the thing, and there's all these people there that come to this area to work to break the ships down into scrap metal. Dude, fascinating. Wow. And how dangerous it is, and how the ships, because they're old, are covered in asbestos, and that there's explosions all the time because like someone didn't clear out like a fuel line or something, and they hit it with a torch.
That totally sounds like the opening of Star Wars, where Rey's going in the Star Destroyer, like scrapping for shit. Yeah, I totally picture that. But it's like any kind of ship is beached on this thing, and
then they're like, cutting off sections of the ship, and then the piece falls down. There's just chaos everywhere.
How crazy!
And
I would totally watch that.
The men get hired to do all the cutting and all the hard jobs, and then the women carry stuff from the ship away from the ship, and I don't know where they take this. No. It's like stuff that's left in the ship, like furniture and shit like that. They have to get off the.
How crazy! Dude, I would totally watch that.
Oh,
what is it?
Fascinating. I don't remember what it's called.
We have to look it up.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Fascinating and sad.
Shipbreakers.
These people get injured on the job, and like the people that own the businesses don't give a shit. Like, and if you don't show up for work, you're not getting paid. There's no like workman's comp. I mean, it's super dangerous work, and people are injured all the time. And
I had just seen too. Speaking of that concept, it was an article about the mothballs over there at Fairfield.
Oh, yeah.
The Navy ships that we used to keep there in the event of, a quick need for something, and how they've been there so long without that quick need emergency that we've
rotted away.
They're rotting away, and now they have to be
decommissioned
and pulled apart because we'll lose them to the bay. Well, they're hazard waste now because they're starting to leak in various places, and they're like, well, now we got to fucking take them apart.
Well, that's part of this documentary they were talking about where, they're basically saying there's no regulation on any of this stuff, and there's no government oversight on any of it, really.
It's India?
It's in India. And they buy all these ships that come from all over the world, and what else is going to happen to them if they're not cutting them down?
Right.
And you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And, what happens if there's another place that starts cutting up shits that's cheaper, or shits, cutting up shits. I cut up a shit.
All right.
But
sometimes they don't fit.
Someone's going to do it because it's money, right?
Or, it's the least amount of effort, right? They're just going to fucking pull an axle out and drop the thing at the bottom of the Siberian, somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
zero fucks. Everyone get in the lifeboat, and we're just going to put this at the bottom of the ocean and fuck it.
Well, I mean, that's an option to like scuttle them and make them like a reef or something, but there's so much value in the steel now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's worth it for whoever owns these businesses to like pay these guys like literally like dollars a day to work all day to cut up these ships. And I mean,
that's crazy.
And they're running around with like these settling torches and just, they're sitting there just fucking cutting shit. And it's just nuts. And they're inside them, and sometimes stuff gets cut and like people get hurt because shit falls on them or.
Oh, no.
Dude, it's nuts.
You're like, hey.
It was totally fascinating, but sad at the same time. Yeah,
dripping on me, fucker.
And the whole area where they do the shipbreaking has brought in all these people because it's like its own little micro economy.
See need, fill a need.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Huh.
And then they were talking about how many trucks that used to go into the area and now how many trucks are in the area, like tens of thousands or some crap like that. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Well, the whole steel industry, I mean, does not surprise me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure some of those things are way too over end of life anyway, and yet they're comprised of tons of steel, and steel is in short supply.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask anybody, Chinese, American, like steel is hard to come by.
Yeah. Yeah, so interesting stuff, and I really enjoy. I have to look that up and find it out. It was just a couple of weeks ago when I watched that, probably on YouTube. So,
Mr. Zombie sending us a thing.
Oh, tell that guy. No, I'm kidding. I'll have to look it up and find it. I'm sure it's buried in all of my.
I would love to watch that.
In my history of.
I started watching. Oh boy, it was another thing on my list. Fleabag. Amazon Prime
familiar.
series.
Okay.
It's one. The lady that runs the writer, main actress. I'm drawing a blank. She's got like a hyphenated last name. She's amazing.
Okay.
She's amazing. It's another one of those short series. They're like 20-ish minutes a piece. It's hard to describe because it's funny, but yet there's a serious undertone. Like you're picking apart like part of her character. Like there's a nuance there that's serious.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this. And fucking
just fell into it.
The whole, I mean, because it was the episodes are so small, I binged the first one and got into the second season, first episode, and I went, fuck, I'll rewatch it with Venus. I'm like, Venus, you're gonna love this because it's very adult, very highbrow, a lot of sexual references, innuendo, and like everything. But also funny, well written, and the delivery is like there's a reason why she's won awards, and it's because she deserves all of them. The
name of it is what?
Fleabag.
Fleabag.
Amazon.
I found the name of the video.
Okay.
It is. Where is it? Shipbreakers, actually.
Was it Shipbreakers?
Yeah.
So you had it right. So
it's
what?
an hour and 12-minute documentary called Shipbreakers.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on YouTube.
YouTube? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fascinating shit. Anyway.
I'll make sure to make a note, and I'll make sure to put it in the video description.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. It's a tragic comedy. Tragic comedy.
Is that what Fleabag is listed as?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. That describes it without getting into why it's a tragic.
Is it English?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Good stuff.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah. So just video games this weekend? You didn't do anything else?
I have a funny story about Piper that I forgot to tell about Christmas. And it has
Let's
to do
hear
with,
it, man.
and it has to do with Hot Ones.
Oh, okay.
Which just released their new sauces. I didn't watch that. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. So I get the Hot Ones box, the subscription box.
Okay.
So I am overfloweth with hot sauce.
Sauces,
hot
yeah.
sauce.
Do you get duplicates out of curiosity? Do they send
I think I have.
or do they always send something different?
It's generally been something different, with the exception of when, like, the last dabs that they tend to run out of. I've gotten a couple of those because, you can't buy these. So when they come back in, I usually get another one. Or the variant, like a variant. But I have gotten a duplicate or two.
And that's on, that's First We Feast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I get their sauces. So the last couple seasons, their entry sauce, the classic, is like a
That's a really good sauce.
It is. It's like a Tabasco tiered hot, if not probably a little bit under for me. You could put it on everything.
Pretty mild.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So there probably would have been the December box that they sent. It had a classic sauce, but it had a different colored label. And I hadn't really paid attention to it, but it was the classic.
Okay.
So, I put this thing away,
but a different label.
But it had a different colored label.
Okay.
But it was the format and font was all the same.
Okay.
Just because the classic is like a red and yellow.
Yeah.
And this was black and white, but everything else was the same.
Okay.
Everything else looked the same.
All right.
Put the sauces away. At some point, in making a breakfast at some location, some day, I had actually gotten it out to put it on something, and I looked at the label and saw that it had Pepper X in it. So that was the variant.
Oh, okay.
It was the classic recipe,
with the Pepper X heat.
but with Pepper X. Now, if you're not a Hot Ones aficionado or haven't heard or been given any of the sauces, the Pepper X is like the next. It's like their special hot. It's the thing that they put in.
It's like their Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
Really hot. So it was in the classic sauce. And I went, oh, you clever motherfuckers. All right.
You trying to get me.
Well, I'm not into that for breakfast. So I'll shelve this and
because you don't want torch ass all day.
I don't want this day. I'll save this for another thing.
I said torch ass.
Torch ass?
Yeah.
So we were having it was Venus's side over, and we were doing like a breakfast thing. And so it was Venus's brother, sister-in-law, her grandpa, and that might have been it.
Was this the brunch thing?
Yes, it was the brunch thing.
All right.
So I had been busy moving things around, and I had come into brunch late, and I make like an egg thing, and I decide, you know what? I'm gonna crack open the classic with the Pepper X. So I make my breakfast burrito thing, put the hot classic one on it, and at the time, Piper is sitting at the kitchen bar, and the conversation is going on outside of me and outside of Piper. So I'm taking a bite of my breakfast burrito, and I get some of the classic with the Pepper X on it, and
it lit you up.
This is hot. This is a good one. This is hot. And so Piper catches me like off on my own, like dealing with the heat. And she's like, what's going on? And I went, the sauce, it's got "Ooh, this one's good. Oh man, this is gonna get me." And so I'm hitting the water. I'm cooling off, and I'm like, "Fuck, wow, okay." And she's like, "Well, why is it different?" I'm like, "Well, it's the classic, but it's got the Pepper X. But this shit's on fire." She's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Well, I'm done with this."
Was it one of these things where she like didn't really believe you?
No, she did.
Oh, okay.
Because here the funny part's coming.
Okay.
So I put it away.
All right.
And so she knows that that's the hot sauce.
Oh no.
So I put it away, mingle about. So then it's like the family. It's like your Christmas. Like everyone kind of, it's a couple hours, mingles back into the kitchen to get another serving of leftovers or make something new.
Right.
I'm outside of the room. Keith, Venus's brother, Piper's uncle, comes into the kitchen to make an egg thing, and he goes to get the classic sauce with the Pepper X in it, and he's like, "What's this?" And Piper, you should get some of that. It's not hot.
Oh no.
You should take some. It's totally fucking baits her own uncle, and he bing bing onto whatever it is. And so I walk in and I see him. He is in a fucking flop sweat, like when we did the chocolate challenge. He is fucking on fire, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I went, "What's going on?" He's like, "I put some of this," and he holds it up and looked at me, and I went, "Oh yeah, that's the hot sauce." And I look over at Piper, and she's just rolling.
Oh my god!
Keith chucks her under the bus. He's like, "She told me it wasn't hot," and I went,
god.
"Oh," because she knew fucking full well. I'm like, I gotta get a little bit of fist bump on that. She just totally duped her fucking uncle.
Man.
It was amazing. And then, so he's dying.
Yeah.
And his wife comes in. What the fuck? And he's like, "Hey." And he's one of those, like, it didn't do that to me. But he was wrecked. It fucking wrecked him.
Head sweat and all that.
And so then I'm like, well, fucking, I know I had it this morning. So I end up finishing his with all the sauce. I'm like, fuck, what do you know? It's hot, but now I got to man up and finish it because I've had it already.
Right.
But the fact that my daughter full on baited her own uncle to put the hottest shit on his eggs, and with knowing full well how it was going to end.
Yeah.
I got it. It was like, that's my girl.
That's hilarious.
That's my girl. And so what it ended up doing was spawning the conversation about hot ones. I'm like, well, it comes from the show. Have you seen the show? They hadn't seen the show.
Are they into hot food at all?
Apparently not. It's not to that capacity, not to that tier level.
Okay.
So then we spent the bulk of the evening watching like what would be like the all-star playlist of Hot One episodes.
Yeah, there's so many good people on a lot of those shows.
And, it's like I told him, like, it's funny, like the gotcha, which, they're not shy about, is that you're there kind of for not only the train wreck of someone that you think is someone that you admire or you don't know a lot about getting absolutely demolished by hot sauce, but at this point, like the real fans, it's almost like a cerebral habit with the questions that Sean asks.
He is
very in depth, very thorough.
Yeah.
And the interviews with the funny haha getting melted by hot sauce aside, the interviews are what I'm there for.
Yeah.
It's like what am I going to learn new about John Mayer that I didn't know because the hot sauce is going to leave him, vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing. Anyway. So, yeah, I put two more people into the Hot Ones hopper.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Hot Ones, I'd recommend it. His questions, and he's also eating the hot wings, too.
Right, yeah.
So he's asking questions under fire as well, but his questions are very well
right. I'm excited to see the show.
Versed.
The new game show. I mean, and they're taking off. They're doing well.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, a good premise take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like that show a lot. I was just looking to see I was on their website just now looking to see if they have that one.
Classic X with Pepper, the classic with Pepper X. It's
a
black and white label.
I don't think they had it on the show though, did they?
No, they did not.
Okay, so
it's a specialty, probably for just the box owners.
All right. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, box owner.
Yeah. But I am now overfloweth with hot sauce. We could do like a show and have like fucking 30
Well,
sauces.
you gave me a couple bottles even.
Yeah. If I get duped, I'll just hand them over.
That classic stuff's really
I
good.
love that one. And you know what? From the show that we did, where we did wings over here on the sign, the Pirate's Lantern, that's like my go-to when I want something a little bit more than classic. I love the taste of that one. The Pirate's Lantern. Amazing sauce. I love that one.
I will say this. Do you know who has really good sauces that you would not expect?
No. Who?
Trader Joe's.
That's not shocking to me.
They have a sauce that we brought home. I think it's just a taco sauce. Dude, the flavor's just incredible.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like it's hot or anything.
Is it like their brand, or is it like a brand sold there?
Trader Jose or some shit like that. But it is delicious. Just the flavor of it is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. I'm impressed. I don't remember exactly the name of that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
They have a chip that I was... we were at a band fundraiser for Piper, and we got like a raffle bag that had a whole bunch of Trader Joe's shit in it. I'm not a avid Trader Joe shopper. Most stuff I kind of like, oh good God, it's nutty crunchy garbage. Like fuck, what gluten free,
right?
Organic, blah blah.
Well, you can
overpaid for.
Yeah, but you can find the good stuff there,
right? There was a bag of chips in there, like a Mexican corn flavored bag of fucking chips, and it was like, I had extra salsa. I'm like, fine, I'll open this, dude. Absolutely blown. I'm like, I love these.
Of just chips.
I love this bag of chips, like the spice, and you can buy like Doritos and whatnot, and you're hoping for like. Or Cool Ranch, and you're hoping for like a heavy dusting of the spice because that's like really what makes the chip the chip.
Yeah.
And like, there's like a berry dusting of like Cool Ranch. You're like, damn it, I just want like that one chip that's like overcoated.
Yeah.
These chips from Trader Joe's, Mexican corn,
all
were like
overcoated.
All overcoated. Like the whole bag of chips, I'm just like, fuck, no. And salsa was like money. I loved it. Anyway.
We ended up going to actually, you know what? Let's talk about this a little bit. We were down in Orange County in Santa Ana. We went to this. Oh gosh, man,
was it a prison?
Why can't I ever remember the names of shit? No, it was a restaurant.
Okay,
and it was a completely vegan restaurant.
Okay,
and I'm not into vegan.
Yeah,
whatever, but I'll try shit. I don't care. Right. So we go to this restaurant, and my wife and my daughter, being vegetarian and also leaning towards vegan stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, sure, yeah, that's fine. Let's go there. And I'm looking at their menu, and first of all, it's ginormous, which I didn't expect. And then they have stuff like their carne asada breakfast burrito, and I'm like, oh no, it was a carne asada Cali burrito.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you sure it's all vegan? It says carne asada. And Millie's like, everything here is vegan. They don't say it's vegan on the menu because the whole menu would say vegan all over the place.
Right.
But this place is vegan.
Okay.
Okay, so I ordered this carne asada Cali burrito. I mean, you would be... first of all, it was insanely good.
Interesting.
Insanely
I mean, not that it
good.
couldn't be, but okay.
The flavor of this was... And you could not tell that it wasn't meat.
What was the...
I don't even
protein
know. I don't know. Like they make it themselves or something.
Oh.
I don't
even better. To me, it's like probably better that you're not trying to fake a meat. Just make it your own with the flavor profile of...
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting because it was like... you know how like sometimes you get some carne asada that's like got a little fat in it or whatever. Yeah. It's hard to... You just had like all the good carne asada with all the flavor with no like hard to eat things or gristly whatever. And it was and the burrito was so big I couldn't finish it.
Oh.
It was
insanely
good. And I wish I could remember the name of the place because I would go there again and order something else just because there's so much stuff on the menu.
Orange County though?
Yeah, I was in
Will Melly
Santa,
know it if we asked her to circle back?
Yeah, Melly Shan will remember too. But
hashtag hi Shan.
Yeah, it was insanely good. And the girls got Melly got some kind of like taco that looked delicious, and Shan got some. She got like breakfast sandwich thing that looked delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It was all insane. It was really good. All of it.
Huh.
Really good. I was really impressed. And then on the flip side of that, because we always like to try these weird, out-of-the-way places that everybody likes.
Mm-hmm. Using like Yelp or what?
Yelp or whatever, or just, Google searches or whatever.
Okay.
But a lot of Yelping.
Okay.
We found this like hardcore hole-in-the-wall place.
Okay.
That was like, I think, owned and run by a Mexican family.
Okay.
And everything on the menu was insane. It was totally busy. I mean, everything that we ordered was delicious.
Wow.
It was incredible. And it was like, geez, is there even going to be enough room for the five of us to sit down and eat this,
Yeah.
And total like little tiny hole. I mean, who knows what the place was when it was brand new, because it was probably, 60 years old.
Right.
But, man, they are just cranking out taste. Chandler had a French toast. I had a breakfast burrito. Shanna got something else. The other two had some. I mean, and everybody loved it. It was insane.
Wow.
I have to look up that place, the name of that place, too. I think it was like Grand.
Did you end up having a place to sit, or did you just make do with really good food?
No, we ended up getting a place to sit even. But it was like crazy busy. It was crazy busy, like 10 o'clock in the morning, just people coming in and out the whole time.
Yeah.
And the kitchen, you just cooking food like crazy. Really good.
It reminds me a lot like when we were in UK. Angie tended to like, or Mike and Venus tended to find like off the wall. And that's the UK in general. It just
everything's going to be
nothing
off the
was
wall.
like Outback Steakhouse or Olive Garden. Everything was like small boutique kind of places.
Yeah.
All really good. God,
okay, here's the name of the place in
I
Santa
can really
Ana.
go for some bangers and mash.
In Santa Ana, it's called Munchie's Diner.
Okay.
Insane. And it's in this place. It's like it's shared with other.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the seating shared with a couple. It's almost like a food mall.
Okay. Like a courtyard?
Court, yeah, food
Okay.
court kind of thing.
Okay.
Shared seating with a couple places. The Munchies place, we ordered and sat down, and they went through dozens of people. The other two places had like one person apiece, and it was like a
falafel.
One was like a wings place, and one was like ramen bowls or something.
Oh, okay.
And the Munchies place was just cranking through people, and man, it was delicious. And then I'll have to look up the other place that was in Fullerton. Really good stuff. But why do we not have places like that around here? We just not have enough people to support that kind of thing?
Well, you would know more than me. So if you don't see that, then I'm shocked. I think it's just like an urbanized thing. Everything's such a big box restaurant. It's Habit, Smash Burger, Olive Garden, Mimi's Cafe.
Yeah.
Denny's, Sizzler, BJ's. It's all the big box. Big.
Was this the name of the place? George's?
That's why I like the Country Gables right over here, like that little cafe. The Italian place on Vernon, like those hole in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those are probably not hole in the wall.
Mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of places I really like.
Yeah.
So the other place that we went to in Fullerton with that had all the breakfast stuff it's called George's Hamburgers.
Okay.
But they do killer Mexican food. I mean, they a full breakfast meal.
Maybe that's the joke.
Maybe it is. But my God, that place was insanely good.
Like Jim's hot dogs, then you serve waffles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Jimmy's
PC repair or something.
What
was the joke?
Tech Support Emporium.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I have the whole joke about what that place was going to order.
Yeah.
Right? And it was Jimmy's Chinese Food and Technical Support Emporium.
Yes.
Was the name of it. But then that we were not going to sell Chimmy's or Chinese food. It was going to be something else, and I don't remember what it was.
Or tech support.
Yeah. Well, you can bring your laptop and get help at the counter.
Oh.
That was going to be part of the shtick.
Oh, was it?
Oh, well, you're having... you just got to go to settings and,
You just got to format C.
Yeah.
/
Yeah, exactly.
FSKMBR.
Yeah, FSCK. That shit. But man, that's one of the things we like about when we go down there is we rarely, other than maybe pickup sticks, eat at the same place twice. You know what I mean? It's like, well, where can we go for breakfast that we've never been that's really good? And man, some of these places just deliver, and it's just there's so many of them.
Okay, so you don't get those experiences here, or you're not looking for them here?
No, we do look for them here, but we don't find those kinds of places here that often. It's very rare. I maybe just because there's so many people and there's so many. The culture down there is so diverse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's up here. It's just like a lot of white people, and down there it's not the same.
It's more of a melting pot.
Yeah, and so I think you have this opportunity for food there that you don't have here.
Different cultures, different heritages.
Yeah,
you bring different cuisines.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the table.
And maybe it's a place that's, like I said, run by a Mexican family called George's Hamburgers. That makes kick-ass, like, American food, but also all this kick-ass, like, Mexican food as well. You know what I mean? It's, like, crazy, you know? So we really, that's, if Melly ends up coming home after she graduates, I'll miss having...
Going down there to dabble?
Yeah, just to, like, go and eat places,
Chandler, go to Fulton. Daddy needs cuisine...
Yeah.
Variability.
So anyway, but I really like the opportunity to be able to do that. It's fun.
We should put that on a list of something to do, because something tells me with us two being foodies and your ability to just pull the trigger and go to somewhere that you haven't found, I would follow you to a place so we could compare notes on something.
We do it a lot. It's one of our things that we do a lot is just like, well, I don't know. I mean, everyone says this place is really awesome. It's not even necessarily an expensive place.
What day do you normally do that? Do you reserve that for a specific day? Like, we can...
Meal time?
So any day, even during the week?
Okay. Well, no. I mean, you mean like when we're home?
Yeah.
We would normally do that on the weekend if we have time for that.
Yeah. I would say the next time you do that.
Yeah. Well, around here, like I said, it's hard.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I think we have to. I have 0, right? Mine is like single digits. So pretty much any place that you would take me, even if it's something you hadn't been to in probably months or weeks, if not maybe perhaps years.
All right. Well, here's one. I got one for you right now. Okay. There's a place in Sacramento. They actually have 2 locations.
Zelda's would be one of those things where you took me.
Yeah, and you liked it a lot.
Right.
But there's a place in Sacramento. It's a breakfast place.
Okay.
Called Bacon and Butter.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Oh, dude. You have to go there.
Okay.
So there's places
and I have
like
not,
that.
But I know that it's up there.
Yeah, there are places around that are like that. They're hard to find just because, like I said, I don't...
See, that's the thing. Something tells me down there on the grid...
Yeah.
Those things are there.
Well, there are a bunch of them. It's hard to find. We found a place down there that was like a Hawaiian-themed restaurant.
Yeah.
That had, I think they even had Spam on the menu. And
that wouldn't be shocking because that's a thing.
And the place was delicious. We just happened to find it on a Yelp thing. Like, hey, this place looks like it's pretty good. Let's go try it.
We should make. I bet Angie and Mike and probably Will.
Yeah.
#hi Will. Probably know those places because I see, like the tiki bar place that Angie and Mike have taken pictures of. They went and got spices a week or so ago at some I would go. Obviously not a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like I know these little mom and pop things are there.
Yeah.
I would dare say hipster.
Yeah.
But I know that they're there. It's just that. My willingness to
go do it
is 0. But if you would drag me, I would go, and then we could have something nutty because I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
Or anyone who listens to the show would know that both of us are foodies.
Yeah, I mean, I love going and trying something new. You know what I mean?
And there's tons of stuff left to do to try.
Oh,
so
there is. I'm sure.
worldly by any means, but I'm the same place. I would try just about anything.
I mean, even like in Sacramento, it's like, okay, we want to try some good Mexican food on a place that we've never been. And it's like, I start doing a bunch of research. Oh, here's a place like down by Sac City, like, I don't know, the reviews are pretty good. And they say they have this, and they, one of the hard problems for us is finding stuff that's vegetarian or, kind of vegan-ish. And so it's like, they actually have some vegetarian options. You want to go try it? So, yeah. So then we'll drive to South Sac, to try this place out just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
And I love doing that kind of stuff.
What was it? Was it Will's Christmas party where you and I stopped at it was a taco shop that I had not been to.
Oh, that was a birthday party. Will's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Was
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, but wait, I don't think I had been there either. Right?
Okay, I can't remember.
I was like, I found out about this place.
But maybe it didn't.
You
didn't know. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think you had been either because you didn't know if they had vegan stuff, so you hadn't gone.
Yeah.
And so it was new. And they had a
bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I've since taken the family there.
I think they had a salsa that but that both of us thought was good.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah, man. I love doing that stuff.
We should do that.
I'm down anytime. I mean, like I said, we do it enough. Sometimes it's like we don't have time to like.
Well, I don't have
somewhere new.
That's not shocking, but like I said, I'm easy, low hanging fruit because most of the places you've been probably here that you would be like, these are my highlights, and I haven't been there, and I'd be like, I haven't been there, so it'd be like easy knockoffs.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think about this place? And we're like, okay.
Breakfast stuff is hard because, and I love breakfast, but breakfast stuff is hard because you got to get up and go.
That would probably be hard with work schedules, but late afternoon, early dinner restaurants and nooks and cranny places would be easier.
All right, next time we go.
Or Sundays for breakfast.
If you guys are available.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm always down with something new, so,
We're at time.
We're at time. Down with something new.
Down with something new.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Sorry I'm not feeling so good and I sound like garbage trash, but, it
was rough carrying you through the entire episode, but we did it.
I'm spreading my germs all over the studios at the moment. So
we'll sanitize your mic with steam.
There we go.
And Lysol.
Perfect.
All of the Lysol.
All right.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks a lot.